Spiritual teaching must not be illogical. It must not have holes in it. And that also applies to shamans and what they have to say about the spiritual world and the world that's given to them from the plant medicines. Sometimes the shamans, they don't know. They like to pretend that they're gods, but a lot of the time when they're asked difficult questions about things, they don't know and they cover it up. They say, oh yeah, it's not working because you're drinking chocolate, or oh, that's not working because your diet's wrong. They just find excuses in order to buff you away and in order for you to think that they know what the answer is, but they don't. So in this case, you have to use your logic. You have to be discerning. You have to look at the people that you're following and you have to say, is this person making sense? When I ask him questions, why doesn't he answer my questions properly? Why is there illogicality in it? Why is he saying things that don't seem to be true? And then when I question him on them, he doesn't want to talk. He says, I don't understand. He walks away. He's off with me, or he acts in a way as if I've offended him. If someone acts in a way that you've offended them because you've asked them a question, it's most probably because they do not know. There should be no blind faith in scripture, shaman, deity, teacher, guru, or guide. Faith should be earned through behavior, manner, what they have to say, and what their ideas are. Even the plants you must challenge, because the plants are the real teacher and they play games on you as well. And they might be playing games in order to make you discerning, to make you think, to make you challenge. Because if you go around believing what they say, you get confused. You have to take a step back and you have to say, okay, that's what you've said. Even the teachers, even the plant teachers, you have to have your own wits about you. You have to dominate yourself, because if a plant says go and do this, or a spiritual teacher says this, or a celestial body says this, you still ultimately as a soul, as a spirit, have the right to have self-autonomy and responsibility for your life. You must never ever give that away to whoever it is that appears in front of you. It's so important, and society is always trained for individuals to give away their self-autonomy and their control. Even when something big, strong, wise comes along, still keep your autonomy, because the best teachers respect you for doing it. Always use your intelligence and your logic to challenge. Not all people have the same capacity to think. Not all people have intelligence, and intelligence isn't the most important thing. Intelligence is a tool. Real intelligence comes from the heart and the mind. It's just university intelligence, school intelligence, which comes from the mind, and you start to think that you're lesser than someone else because they can do maths or double equations or other difficult things that I don't even know the names for anymore, and you feel, well, they can do it, I can't, therefore they're more intelligent. No, they just have a capacity. It's like a computer system. They just have a faster capacity to interpret data. But if you have, well, let's say Word for Windows on a really fast computer might be a lot quicker than Word for Windows on a slow computer. But what makes Word for Windows important is what you write into Word. It's the poetry, it's the text, it's the stories, and that comes from you, and that comes from outside of the computer. So don't think that because you don't have intelligence like someone else that you are less. Intelligence is also compassion and kindness, because ultimately if intelligence is, the thing that solves all problems, then why doesn't it solve the problems in the world? And why is it that spiritual traditions put so much importance on things like compassion and consciousness, which universities seem to teach doesn't have anything to do with intelligence at all? Observation has shown me that sometimes students that have a normal mind inhibit students that have an intelligent mind, because they don't understand why an intelligent student can't just accept the text like everyone else does. Intelligent people are intelligent because they are not the same as other people. They are not the same as normal people. They are a minority. And so when the majority sees somebody doing something different from them, they get upset. Sometimes students lack spontaneity. Spontaneity comes from you. Spontaneity doesn't come from outside of you. And a lot of students, they seek approval. Approval comes from outside of you. So when you see something and you spontaneously react to it or think something, that is good. The students that need to have permission and approval from a teacher to do everything, that is not good. Although when you are learning something, you do sometimes need approvals because there is a particular manner or science within the ideology, concept, metaphysics that you're learning, and they can be important. Like, for instance, diets. You might need approval to eat something, but that's because you've gone on a diet or a system and you don't want to upset that system. So you seek somebody that has more knowledge than you in order to make sure that you continue the process correctly, which is intelligent. Sometimes students, they can be passive aggressive towards other students. I had a case myself that I experienced when I was talking to the teacher, and a student said in front of me and the teacher, "Don't you have faith in the teacher?" He had a huge amount of faith. He was sycophantic. And I said, "No, I don't have faith because I haven't known him long enough and I need more time." And the teacher was actually quite happy with my reply, and he wasn't happy with the questioning of the other person because the other person was trying to gain brownie points by trying to make me say something that I didn't want to ingratiate the teacher on his terms, which is a passive aggressive, manipulative way of doing things. It is those students that reinforce illusions within the system. It's those students that stop you from finding holes in the teacher's thoughts or stopping you from understanding what the teacher has to say because they give you a glare or glance or something like that. Not all students are like that. Some students are really, really good. Followers are really, really good. Teachers are really, really good. But sometimes you get people that are like that. And when you're starting out on the path, it's a good thing to know, you know, so that you can have confidence and you can go along with your process with strength and with focus. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and press the big red button down below. Thank you very much.